So we now have less than an hour to find out the outcome of the ruling. Only the 8 justices at the Constitutional Court know the fate of the South Korean leader now. We turn to Professor Paik Eun-seok in the meantime. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Professor Paik, I have to ask, how did the 8 justices spend this morning up until the ruling at 11 a.m.? What are they doing at this moment, do you think?
I gather they are having their last conference this morning. I also gather that they had conference twice yesterday in the morning and the afternoon, and also the day before. So my sense is that there isn't anything due to be done, but maybe the justices are adding final touches to the court opinion. Now, depending on how the court comes out in the ruling, if it is a unanimous decision, that I think there's less work to be done. But if it is not a unanimous situation, then there are multiple opinions. Opinion of the court, excuse me, the majority opinion, separate opinion, dissenting opinion. And of course, as you know, every word counts in a case of this magnitude and ramification. So basically, the justices are working on the opinion or opinions and adding final touches. I think they are on it at the moment during the final conference.
So it's not over until it's really over. Now, nearly 100,000 people in Korea applied to attend today's ruling with only 20 seats available. I have to say, this is a lot more than just a ruling for South Korean and South Korean people, isn't it?
That is true. Compared to 2 previous impeachment cases, the first ever impeachment case against the sitting president was against President No, in which the motion to impeach was denied by the court. That was the first, so it was that first that was the significance of the case. The second impeachment case was against President Park Geun-hye, and the Constitutional Court upheld the motion to impeach. So the significance of that case was, of course, the first time that sitting president was removed by the Constitutional Court. Now, this case is of much more grave in terms of the constitutional issues being raised. President Park's case was essentially influence peddling situation, but here the issues are much more grave in legally, constitutionally, politically speaking. And at the same time, unlike 2 previous cases, President Yoon was very active in defending his case, participating in the hearings, not only responding to the arguments against him put together by the National Assembly, the petitioner, but he was basically accusing the opposition party along the way and appealing to his supporters. So I think that raised the stake a lot higher. Not only that, this case interest goes beyond the country because South Korea's democracy has been an inspiration to many countries around the world, especially to the developing countries. So obviously, we expect those countries to have a very close watch on what happens. And not only that, the trade partners, allies, just want to know what's going on and what would happen.
Right.
And so this case goes beyond the South Korea, and we'll see.
And Yoon has managed to keep himself very quiet and silent, almost too silent on this big day. Now, quite a strategic move, would you say?
Yeah, but one would expect he would have said something, something in support of the court, whichever the ruling comes out. But he has maintained silence, as you described. What was behind it, it's hard to tell. But on the other hand, saying anything at this stage in a very volatile situation like this might not have been a very prudent move on his part. So. While one would expect the president would have said something in support of the ruling of the court in a general matter, but on the other hand, one would maybe commend him for having kept some silence in order to not to further aggravate already polarized situation in the country.
Right, he doesn't want to take that risk at this difficult time. Now, we should expect him to say something, though, right after the ruling, right? Or will it depend on the outcome of the ruling?
Of course, it depends on the outcome. If the court dismisses the motion or denies the motion, either way, in which case he would be reinstated, then he would move back to his office. Then we would expect him to say something officially at that point, so sooner rather than later. Now, if the court upholds the motion to impeach, in which case he would be removed from his office at the moment that the court declares the main holding. Then I think it's harder to predict exactly when he would say. He would have to move out of his official residence. He may not do so, and he will not be able to physically to do so today. In President Park's case, because her private residence had not been ready for her move-in, so it was 2 days after the court's ruling that she left the official residence. As far as I know, President Yoon and his security team didn't do anything to his private residence, where he stayed in the early few weeks of his presidency. So I think even the court upheld the motion to impeach and he is removed from office, he may have to stay in the official residence for a couple of days until his private residence is ready. At what point he would say, maybe at the time when he's leaving the official residence, probably that's more likely scenario, as far as I can tell.
Who knows? Well, Professor Paik, security and safety measures are deemed absolutely vital, especially today. Now, that is why the vacuum zone around the court has been expanded, right?
Right, that's what I gather. And what happened in the immediate aftermath of the court's ruling in the President Park's case, some of his supporters engaged in extreme violent act, leading to some people actually dying in the process, which was a shame. I really do hope that something like that would not happen this time. I think this is the occasion, whichever ruling that the court issues, I really do hope that Korean people can show to the world that we do have a mature constitutional legal system, and at the same time, the people of South Korea is mature. So I really do hope that something of that nature wouldn't happen this time.
Indeed, and also to fully practice the idea of a democracy for South Korea and also for us, the South Korean people. Professor Paik, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us on this big day. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.